You're listening to Table for Five with Felicia and Annette, only on LA Talk Radio.
Good Monday morning.
Good morning.
Good Monday morning, everyone. Hey.
We needed like streamers, balloons, no flowers.
I know.
It was like a lonely celebration.
Like late this morning. I was like, I should get some flowers. No, I don't have enough time. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Table for Five with Felicia and Annette. She's over here like,
because my hair looks so poofy. I'm like, what happened to my hair?
Yeah, I'm not even looking because I'm not even trying to get into that situation. But I'll be fixing my clothes the whole time.
Like,
switching my seat around. It's too much. It's too much pressure this morning.
Yeah, there's nobody here. We can't deflect. It's about us.
Yes, it's all about us. Is that a bad thing? No, it's not. We love it. But welcome every morning. Welcome every morning. Wow. Okay.
Okay, this started over again.
Yes.
Rewind.
Welcome everyone. Good morning to Table for Five with Felicia and Annette. Today is Monday, April 16th. We are live in studio today, if you can't already tell.
Yes, we are live. And we're celebrating our second year anniversary. We've been doing this for 2 years. We need an applause.
Yes, where's my applause?
Yes. So this is 2 years. We'll get into that in a little bit later. Go ahead.
Yes, we'll get into that later. It's going to be a lot of laughing.
Oh, my
Probably
goodness.
some crying during the show.
Really?
I don't know. Well,
I didn't come prepared to cry.
Well, because when you start laughing hysterically and then it goes into a cry
yeah.
and then she falls on the floor.
Yes, I've done that.
We need to talk about those behind the scenes moments.
Yes. And I wasn't drunk. I was just tired. I was overwhelmingly tired.
I don't know what that was.
Okay.
But anyways, we're going to welcome you to this anniversary show. Going to be filled with lots of laughter and fun and looking back and memories. I think we have got some some pictures to show for you guys of our little trials and travels.
Our guests.
And yes, about guests in the show and everything. But we want to let you guys know, the listening viewing audience, that you're always going to have a seat at this table here, Table for Five, even though we're not a table of five today. We wanted to make it a little quiet.
A little more personal.
Yeah, let you guys
We did this on purpose.
Yeah.
We really did. It wasn't like we didn't have guests, because we have guests. We just thought, let's just talk about us.
Yeah.
Let's just make it about us today.
Yes, it's all about us. And who doesn't like to make it about them? What? If you don't like it to make it about you, then you're lying to yourself and everybody else. Stop it. Because everybody likes to be celebrated. Everybody likes to, feel special and all that kind of stuff. So if you have questions, you can call in. You can post it on Facebook. We are on Facebook Live. We'll take your questions.
Thank you.
The number to call is 818-570-5085. Again, 818-570-5085. If you want to ask us questions or anything you want to know today. Look at my hair. See, now you got me looking.
Anyway, today we have two advertisers.
We have two ads. So today's show is being brought to you by Soul of a Woman blog. soulofawoman.blog, a place where you will read about life experiences, lessons, and stories that may speak to your circumstances, a conversation between the reader and me, a conversation that comes from a woman's perspective, a blog to inspire, encourage, and entertain. soulofawoman.blog. So
I'm really having a hard time. This is terrible when you see yourself, because my hair is like acting crazy.
You're talking about hair, and look at mine.
So I just wanted, I know, right? This is not good. We should not have this in the middle of the two of us.
Did I fix it?
Oh my goodness. So if you want to join in our conversation, like Felicia said, you can call in at 818-570-5085. And if you want to know what we're doing, where we're doing it, and how we're doing it, you could follow us on our Instagram, our Twitter, our Facebook. You could catch all our previous shows on the YouTube channel, or latalkradio.com. And one of our favorite things that we always love to talk about, which is our website. And it is just full of a lot of information, a lot of history, how we got started, where we got started, who we got started with, and how to contact us, just pictures, If you want to advertise with us, there's information there about the tiers that are available. There's a gallery page. Our website, I'm very proud of our website. I was on it
I love
the
it.
other day.
It's beautiful.
So if you haven't had a chance, go check it out. Look through our pages and let us know what you think. Shoot us up. I mean, oh my God. Every time I said, hit us up. Hit us up.
Hit
We're
us
not
up.
shooting
Shoot
anybody.
us an email.
Yes.
Shoot
Send
us
us
a
an
comment.
email. Let us know
Yes.
what you think about our
Oh, we have a caller.
our website. Okay.
Good morning, caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning, Felicia and Annette.
Ah!
Happy anniversary!
Yay! So we're very excited because on the line, she doesn't even have to say who she is
Yes.
our incredible associate producer.
Incredible. Like, we cannot explain to you guys enough how much having Nareda
Yes.
Rosario, well, let's formally introduce
Yes.
her. On the line
Aw.
with us, everyone, is our associate producer, Nareda Rosario.
Hey, everyone!
Calling in.
Celebrating that we're too.
Yes. Calling all the way in from Florida. Listen, guys,
Yes.
she's 3 hours ahead
Yes.
of us. She's on Eastern Standard Time. We are Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah, PST. Get your PST
I
in there.
love my Pacific Standard Time. And she has been like an incredible
Yes.
help for Table for Five. We
Yes.
cannot even begin to explain.
Yeah, I mean, if you contact us, she will contact you.
Yes.
It's not us.
It's
She's the
been-
one
yeah,
that you.
It's been a joy.
Yeah, she's the one that will
been a
connect
joy.
with you, respond to your emails, and she helps with the booking of our guests.
She's the very professional one.
Yeah, she's the very professional one that will call you back when I say a very professional person. She's the one. And she started with us last year. It's going to be a year in
almost a
August.
year,
Is it
yeah.
August, Nareda?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So August, I think when we went to our video channel,
Mm-hmm.
because we started off as a podcast and then we switched over to video channel.
Yep.
We hired her because we needed
Yes.
the help.
Yes,
And-
I was at the beach when I got your call.
Oh, she was
By
at the
ocean.
beach.
Whatever. Hater. And so we asked if she would help us just, manage. Actually, she was really responsible initially to kind of launch the website and kind of
Yes.
get it off its feet. We were kind of
Yes.
like dragging it a little bit, and we weren't really sure what we were doing with the website, quite
Yeah.
frankly.
Well, it was a little difficult, and
Yeah.
she had some experience
Yes.
already with dealing with our provider
Yes.
and working a website and building a website, which wasn't really her background, right, Nareda?
No.
Like that's not like your.
It was a learning curve. It was truly a learning curve that I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
You guys are my guinea pigs, and I've
Oh,
enjoyed it,
thank
truly.
you. Well,
Yes.
you're doing great.
Yes, I think we're all doing good for our test
Yes,
subjects,
yes.
and we were having some problems, and so initially it was like, can you just kind of help us get through this, get over this hump, and let's really get out there, and just her enthusiasm and her excitement and her was really just amazing, and she just wanted to help us and see us succeed, and we were just like, can you please help us?
And she did. And she has put together a beautiful, beautiful website for us, which
Yes.
I really do love our website.
Yeah, I do too.
And I think
Aw.
it's so well done and it's informative. Everything you really would need to know is on there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
it connects you to all our links. It connects you to like Talk Radio. It connects you to our YouTube channel. It
Yep.
connects you to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Yep.
If you want to know what we're doing, how we're doing it, and how to follow us, the website offers that. And that,
Absolutely.
we appreciate Nareda for putting that together, and she manages that for us, and she helps book our guests when they
I love speaking to your future guests.
Yes.
I think that's one of the most favorite part of my job is speaking to your future guests, getting to know them.
Yeah, she gets to know them really personally.
Yeah.
At times.
Well, and it's interesting too because, excuse me, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes
Yes.
that a lot of people don't really think about or realize that we didn't know before we started any of
Yes.
this. But just logistically, and her being in Florida, you would think, oh my gosh, that's going to be so hard and difficult. But she's on it. Like, I don't know if it's a good thing. I think it is a good thing that you're 3 hours ahead. 'Cause
Yeah.
you
You know what? Yeah, while you guys are sleeping, I'm working it.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting up and she's already booked the guests, and we're like, what? And we're looking at these texts. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Why are you texting us? But it works, and it's
Yes.
so it's a
Yes.
big relief. Like Felicia was saying, we come on every Monday and you see us with guests and you wonder, no, people either contact us or we come up with show ideas and then we decide, okay, we have to find guests that match the show topic. And so we start, we tell narrator, this is our show topic. This is might be a potential guest. We'll give her a list of guest ideas, or she'll start looking for guests for us that relate to the topic that we want to discuss. So it takes time. Like we have to book shows at least three to 4 weeks ahead of schedule. And so fortunately, since we started the video channel, we've been really fortunate. And this year, especially, we've been booking ahead of schedule, which has been really nice. So we intentionally didn't want guests on the show. I don't want you to think nobody wanted to come on.
Or sometimes there are days when will be just the two of us. And most of the time we've typically done that just on purpose so that we can really have a discussion maybe just about us, and we want other people's feedback and stuff like that. But also Narita is like, they're the point person. So like if there's a parking issue and people can't get to the studio, they're calling her or they're calling us. And so that has happened, on a few different occasions.
And this speaks to the remote employees. Like not everybody needs to be in the room. I mean, we do Skype once a month. We try, and that's a lot of fun. So for anybody
that should
out
be like
there,
a whole show in and of itself.
Exactly. Like anybody who's out there.
I think the saddest part for me is when I have to tell them when we've got it confirmed and the guests are going to show up and they say, okay, we'll meet you at the studio, and I said, no, actually you'll meet Felicia and Annette. You won't see me. I work from Florida. And that's the saddest part to me, because I've had this conversation with them for a couple of weeks, and I have to say, no, you're not going to meet me for real.
Well, one day they will. One day you'll be in studio with us. You have to. You have to make that happen. But so I think it's for people who are working in other states, and if you have a situation that you want to hire somebody, and you can do it. It works. It really works. You just have to be really organized about it and communicate, and then we Skype once a month and discuss show topics and moving forward, or the website, or any other issue that comes up.
And I think text messaging too. That's our main form of communication. We have an amazing text message thread that is like always going.
It's out of control sometimes. Oh my gosh.
It's fantastic. You could just, if you don't respond or whatever, like when I was on vacation, I was 6 hours behind Narita, and I didn't realize that until like 3 days in.
That's right.
She was like, okay, I'm going to bed. And I was like, what are you talking about going to bed? I'm on a beach.
Yes,
it's like the middle of the afternoon. And she's like, yeah, it's 10 o'clock here. And I was like, oh my God, I just realized that you are 6 hours ahead of me. So it was just funny. But I would encourage, like you said, to piggyback on what you said, if you need help, if you need an assistant, don't be afraid to look outside of your just personal space. And also too, I want to speak about this because a lot of people will say, working with women, and women are so catty, and all this, and it's true. I do think that women can be very, very catty. I think, but you have to be in a mindset, and you have to surround yourself with like-minded people.
Well, I don't even agree with that, because we're not that like-minded.
We're good people.
We're good people at heart, but I think we respect each other, and I think that's key. Like you can have a hardcore difference of opinion, and I'm like, I don't agree with that at all, but I respect you. I respect you as a person, as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, as someone who contributes to society. So I think that's really key in working with women. You have to have a respect for each other. It can't be like, she's so, do all,
and the messiness.
Don't be messy. Don't be catty. Don't be Real Housewife-ish. Because that doesn't work.
We've been in a situation like that too.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we were. we had a situation like that.
Yeah, we had a Real Housewife show. It was, go on our website. You'll find it. Go on our YouTube channel.
You're on the better days.
Yes, we are.
So it does happen.
My favorite show was Nereva.
The Capsula Mundi show.
Yes, that was going to be my favorite show.
Yes. Oh my God. It wasn't on my favorite list, but
it was my top first.
Yes,
one.
I would say that was a great show. That was a learning moment for me. It was an aha moment, because I was totally against the
I was
whole
so
thing.
proud of you.
Yes, I had a learning moment here, light bulb moment. I was not for this hot mess. And this gentleman,
I'm not going to be a treat.
I know this gentleman from Italy, right?
Yes,
it was Italy. Called in, and if you want to know what we're talking about, go on our website or go on LA Talk Radio and go through the archive shows. And
it was our Halloween show.
It was a Halloween show.
It was on the 30th of October. Yeah.
Yes, and it was October. Really? Wow.
Yeah, October 30th. It was our Halloween show.
Louise. And it was an excellent show. And it made me rethink the whole burial
Process,
green tree thing.
Yes, yes.
But I'm getting burnt.
No, she's not. But yeah, no, that's funny you said
Right,
that,
I'm
Maria,
getting
because
cremated.
that was like my time. I mean, first of all, it was hard for me. We said, okay, we're going to pick our favorite shows and we're going to discuss them. But for me, it was really hard looking back and going through. I was like, like every show is unique. Every show is special. It's like children. Like we've had all of these children.
Well,
we've birthed all these kids, and then now I can't really say, well, you know what, you're really my favorite, and I don't really like any of
Well,
y'all,
I had a couple of favorites.
I know you did.
I had a
but
couple
yeah.
of favorites that were on the podcast and on video channel because I went through both.
Yeah.
One of my favorites on the podcast, which was early on, was the Roe Moore guest about
Oh,
bullying, the movie,
yes,
and how it
yes.
was from the perspective of the young man who was the aggressor. And we don't think about that.
Yes.
We don't think about the
Yes.
aggressor. We just think about the person that is being
Right.
bullied, the victim.
Right, the victim.
And I thought that was such an interesting perspective that she
yes.
had, that it kind of made you think, wait, what?
Well, what about the other side?
What about the other side? How did he
Yeah.
get like that? Why is he behaving
Yeah.
like that? That was one of my
Early
and-
on, too, you speaking of the podcast, I think one of my favorites for that one was when we had on the two therapists, the two social therapists. We were talking about teen suicide.
Oh,
that
yes.
was a really powerful
Yes.
show, I think, for me, just moving forward and just having a lot of young teenagers in my life and around me. I felt like that was a really powerful show for me, too.
and then the fun show for me, which was Can Men and Women Be Friends? I thought that was a great show. Lourdes Colon, Create
Yes.
Option C, was
Yep.
an awakening
That was one of
for
mine,
me,
too.
for my
Yep.
family. I thought
Yep.
that was a great show.
Yes, I loved that
Noel
one.
Santos, The
Yes.
Lit Bar, which we'll be going soon. Noel, we're waiting.
Yes.
The Passion and the Purpose Show with Melissa Hogan and Linda
Oh,
B.
yeah.
Hall, Project Love.
Yes.
Hunter Syndrome, that
Yes,
was also
that was
a learning.
my second top favorite.
That was a
Yeah.
big
I'm going to
learn-
say goodbye, girls. You
Oh,
just have
okay.
fun. I'm going to watch you now.
Okay,
Okay.
bye.
Bye, Narrated. Thank you for everything.
Bye. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you too.
And then Crafts for Christmas, I thought was a lot of fun. We have to do another craft show because that was great.
Yes, that was on my top.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was.
yes.
And then and of course the one that kind of blew us all away, I would have to say maybe for both of us, was the She Does movement
Oh
show.
yes, yeah.
That was
Yeah, that
like
was on mine.
huge.
Yeah.
That was like a catalyst moment for all of us
Yeah.
because it was just very raw and a real
Yeah.
awakening.
And it was very powerful too. Like
Yes.
I felt. I mean, we knew that there was a need. We knew that there was an issue. We knew. I think I had two on that because that was on my top five or not top five. That was one of my top shows too. But the one that we did before that was Cecilia talk. I think that was the first eye-opening
Right,
one
when she
to
said
me.
of the homeless women.
Right. When we did that show, that was a really great show for me because we went to the facility and saw firsthand. So again, that's a lot of stuff that sometimes that you guys don't really think about the stuff that we do or the organizations that we bring on here to you guys. We really try to get as much information
Yes.
about them as possible. And it has to be something that we believe in.
Yeah.
That we or want to learn more about.
Yeah.
I went to that facility. I toured it, as did you.
Yes.
And I learned so much. I had no idea that there was, number one, a need for this. I had no idea that this was happening so frequently. When I say that, if you don't remember the show, it's where people that are homeless that go into the hospital and they need continuous care. There is no place for them to go.
Yes.
Social services only go so far, and then when it's time, they have to leave and they have no place to go. So they
So they go to
virtually
the
just
street.
kick them out on the street. But this program, this particular place, they have a place for them. And so, we
Hope of
learned
the
about
Valley,
that.
yeah.
Hope of the Valley. Yes, we learned about them. And then the She Does movement just kind of came in and just really set a spotlight on that issue for us, and it's still really ongoing. And he was just, I think I texted you the other day.
Yeah, he was
just
on
on KNX.
Yeah.
Mel. So congratulations to him getting a lot of momentum behind this movement. And I really think that the city of Los Angeles hopefully will be able to do something to fix this problem.
Yeah,
but
I would hope so.
Powerful show.
It was a powerful show. And we have some really great shows coming up. I'm just going to throw them out there. Obviously, this is our anniversary show. Next week, we have a show on Women's Empowerment Luncheon that's coming up with founder Eva Longoria. With our guest will be Alina Peralta with one of the panelists. We have a political show coming up. We have one of our very exciting shows with Julie Lythcott-Haynes, author of How to Raise an Adult and an American Memoir. She'll be calling in, and that's a big show for us. We're working on our surrogate show, which is really very exciting. Summer skincare. We're doing a Father's Day show. We're doing a summer safety CPR specialist and camp leader, and then we're having a kids menu show, which our third annual kids menu show. You can't end the year without that. So there's a lot of interesting shows coming up. But so just so you know, we have to work, research, read what's relevant, what's going on, and then we throw in our little political shows in there every now and again. So to stay up and
coming or not,
up
up
on the
what's
news
happening, because every single day, literally every hour of the day, I think things are changing.
Yes,
not necessarily for the better. I feel like we're just living in this world of craziness, and I think we're becoming a little desensitized to it. And I don't want that to happen.
No.
I don't want the desensitization.
Okay,
that's a
somebody
word.
look that up.
To continue to chip away at us, because the more desensitized we become, the easier it's going to be for just craziness and continued foolishness to go on that this president is just participating in and making stuff normal. I mean, just the I don't even know what I was going to say. I'm just
I just want to jump on what you're saying. So last night, everybody, I think the world was watching this interview, except Felicia. The James Comey interview on ABC with George Stephanopoulos was 10 o'clock last night. And I'm usually in bed by 10 o'clock. So I thought it was at 9 o'clock. And I go to Channel 7, it's American Idol. It says an hour left. I'm like, wait, what? It was at 10 o'clock, which was fine because I got to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta's reunion part 2. Judge me. And so I did that craziness, and then I went to the heady stuff, which was the James Comey interview. And I tell you, I sat there, Robert and I sat there riveted, totally riveted. First of all, this man is not lying. There's just no way he's lying.
Yeah.
There's what would he gain? There's a website now that's all about him lying. The right-wing conservatives have created a website that is dedicated to denouncing him and decrying and all these going through his books and pointing out all the lies.
Wow.
There's no reason for him to lie. And he's an former FBI director. He's a former district attorney. He knows the cost of lying.
Right.
He knows the cost of lying.
Right.
So why would he lie? Let's just start there.
Right.
Then everything that he had to say was very, very disturbing, is the word I would use. And one of the things that he did say, just to piggyback what you're saying right now, is that one of the things that we cannot lose in this country is the moral fiber of truth.
Right.
And once we start believing lies, then that totally shreds us.
Right.
We're a country based on laws, a constitution, the truth.
Right.
What's right and what's true. And unfortunately, he says this president lives in a kind of a bubble of lies.
A false, it's like a false reality for him.
And so he spews them, and people start to believe them when they are factually wrong. They're lies. So he went through a list, and one of the very difficult questions.
He was calling out specific lies.
Oh, yes. It was. I was very surprised.
I need to get that. I need to find that.
You got to find it. I was very surprised how honest he was, how he didn't hold back on anything. But like everything else, there's so much you tell, and there's a little bit you hold back because you know that ethically or legally you can't say.
Right.
But he regurgitated stuff that we already knew. But one of the things that I thought was a great question that George Stephanopoulos asked him was, do you believe that that Donald Trump is fit to be president? And he said, I believe that he's mentally fit. He says he's a wise man. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't suffer from dementia. He doesn't have anything like that. He said he's very, very, he didn't say the word conniving, but I would say it. He knows what he's doing. He says he is morally and ethically unfit to be president.
Wow.
And I thought that was worse.
Yes, I was just getting ready to say that's worse than somebody being mentally not there.
Exactly.
Because now you're doing it on purpose.
Yes. exactly. So even George Stephanopoulos was like, wow. Ooh. Like, I think he was not, obviously he wasn't expecting that answer. Wow. He is morally and ethically. And then he said, do you believe he's obstructing justice? And he said, I would have to say yes.
Oh my God.
And so let me tell you something. I don't know how this story is going to end. I don't know how this reality show is going to wrap its season up.
It's a really, he has thrown our government and this country into a straight reality show.
Yes.
I did not think it could be done.
Yes, he did it.
America is now a reality show.
He absolutely did it.
And I'm only laughing because there's only two things to do: either laugh about it or cry about it. And I don't really want to cry about it right now. So I'm not making light of it when I laugh about it. I laugh at it because it's so absolutely ludicrous, outrageous, and ridiculous. Yeah. And I have to say to the rest of us here in America, how the hell did we let this happen?
Yeah.
Why are we still allowing this to continue? Like, we have to we got to figure something else out, because this is
so that whole interview was I'm going to read the book because I want to get into
his book.
It's
not available until
the 22nd, I believe.
But how is it that people are already, has it been like pre-released to certain people?
For the media, they send out excerpts, people get like little
pieces. It's just excerpts.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have
and whoever's it, like, he's going to be on The View, I think, tomorrow. So the ladies of The View have gotten copies. They get ahead of,
do they get excerpts or do they get?
No, they get the book. They get the book. So they got the whole book. Like George Stephanopoulos got the whole book, and so people who are going to interview obviously had to have read the book, but it was an incredible interview, and I don't believe that he's lying. I can't sit there and say
I don't think that
he's making all of that up. Hey, I just finished reading.
Yes, I was going to ask you, Fire and Fury, right? You talked about that last week, but we didn't delve into it.
Right.
So like, do you, from his interview, from Comey's interview that you saw yesterday, and then reading the Fire and Fury, like, do you feel like it's going to be more credible? Do you think that Fire and Fury was just like, this is what my opinion of from what I've heard and what I've gathered?
Right.
What do you think?
I think, Fire and Fury, there were a lot of, from my research and reading and watching interviews, there were a lot of mistakes in the book. There weren't falsehoods. He just put in the wrong person's name, or the date was wrong. So people were saying that he made a lot of this stuff up. He couldn't have made it.
Do you think he did that on purpose, or that was a mistake that he was doing that?
I think it was a mistake because the story is being told to him.
Oh, okay.
He's not there. Like, he's there for certain things, and then these are interviews that are being told to. He's interviewing, and the people are retelling the story. So it's like a third person story. Okay. Anyway, so I don't feel like the book is a throwaway book. I didn't think that. And the reason I say that is because I read the book after Steve Bannon left, right?
Right.
And Steve Bannon was a big guy in the White House.
Right.
And in the book, it was already stated that they wanted Steve Bannon out.
Oh, wow.
So how do you know that?
Yeah, if you're not already there.
Exactly.
And then it happens.
And
Maybe
so
he's psychic?
A lot of things that have happened after that book came out have happened. A lot of things that have been stated in the book have come to pass. So how much of that book is really a lie?
Right. It can't be.
It can't be. So then you watch James Comey talk about the personality of this president, the demeanor of this president. It's in that book. So James Comey doesn't have to make it up, because, Michael Wolff didn't have to make it up, because it's being played out. Right. Whatever the book did was the book just
brings it all together.
Interesting. And gives you a scenario of the mental and emotional state of everybody in the White House, which is chaos. Chaos. Total and utter chaos.
Okay, but that's interesting to me. Like, I want to say, how is that possible when didn't he put these people in the White House? Like, the people that are there.
Do you know how many people have left the White House since he's been in office?
I know, but the people then that come after them, you would think would be more like, well, I really, really, really want to be here, right? I mean, so if how can it be so chaotic?
Because when he brought in all these when he brought in his cabinet and his team, a lot of these people had never worked in the White House. They were inexperienced, and they just didn't. They were trying. They really thought that Donald Trump would have changed once he became president. And he's even said, I can be presidential. He said it. And everybody believed him. And that didn't turn out to be true. Right. And so now you have all these people who have worked in the White House before, who have never worked, who don't know what ethical the protocol is. They don't know the protocol, period. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing. They don't know how to put things together. So it's all this craziness. That's why what comes out of the White House is chaotic or wrong or unethical, or you don't do that.
Because there's nobody there that's like checking it and saying, you know what, listen, we can't do this.
Exactly.
Listen, you can't put this out there.
Attorneys that
are
have
those
worked,
people are gone?
Yes.
Like the people that know are gone.
He got rid of a lot of those people, and he went into the White House, right? Or they quit. Over 58 members that he had hired quit. 58 people were like, we're out of here. You crazy. We're gone. Peace out.
Yeah. Why aren't those people coming forward then too? And standing behind people like Wolf, saying like, listen, the stuff that he's saying, it's not all crazy and made up. Like, why aren't there more people speaking out?
Well,
do you think they're afraid for something?
I think they're afraid. I think the people, so like they were saying, for instance, John Kelly, who's his chief of staff, people say he's a good guy, right? And I don't have any reason to believe otherwise. And they're also saying, how can he work for a Donald Trump, being the person that he is, right? But I heard this great interview, that people who work in the White House really work for the country. They work for the betterment of the country. Right. They're public service for the country. Right. So people have stayed, even though those that have stayed because they're going, somebody has to rear this boat this ship
that's coming straight
into the Titanic,
into the iceberg,
right, and fix it. And so they're thinking he's the guy that could probably, should something happen to Donald Trump, should he get impeached, should he retire, should he be he can help everybody get back on course. So there are people who are still working there that are good people. Right. Not everybody that works at the White House because they're working for Donald Trump are bad people. They're working there because of the love of the country.
Right.
And the privilege of working at the White House. Right. So I look at it that way too, but it's so bad that the people who were there for years, he's either fired or they've quit because they.
But what about those people? How come those people aren't coming forward and putting a stamp of approval? Yes, I agree with him. Yet things that they're saying, it is this bad. Like, why aren't they speaking out?
I don't know. I don't know why I don't know if there's
maybe like an NDA or something. Maybe
an NDA, or
they can't talk about it if they're afraid.
Or if they love their country too much that they don't want people to really panic, to be afraid or concerned and say we're the shithole. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to say,
wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want us to panic, and they're probably going, you know what?
Did that interview last night with Comey? Did that excuse me? Did that make you concerned or panic? It solidified for me is the seriousness of this investigation that's going on. The serious, like this special prosecutor investigation with Robert Mueller. Right.
It is very serious. It's not they're looking under, the table for stuff. This is a very serious.
They're looking for Easter eggs.
Yes, it's not exactly. People are blowing it off and saying, it's a very. He put light on it and said, this is serious. Wow. What they're looking for is very, very serious. Yeah. So I don't think they're going to come up and go, we found nothing. That's not going to happen. Yeah. That's why they're taking their time, because they're crossing their T's and dotting their I's.
Yeah.
So that's enough about politics. Whew. Okay, so
everybody go out and watch it. I'm going to go watch it.
Yes, it's a very good interview. It's not boring. It's fascinating. He talked about the Russian dossier. Ooh, no bueno. He even said that it's very probable that Putin and Russia have something on our president. It's very probable.
I would not doubt it.
Yeah, no bueno.
At this point, listen, if they told me that Mickey Mouse was living there in the next room to him and giving him his advice, I'd be like, yeah, sure. I believe that too, because I feel like anything is possible at this point in time with this presidency.
We have.
So it literally can make you crazy. So that's why I feel like we need to continuously talk about it. Yeah. And we need to be questioning. And there was something else, and then we'll get off politics. With Syria, with the airstrike that happened. Was it Friday that it happened? I think it was Friday.
Yes, it was Friday.
He decided to, combat it, bomb Syria, because of the massive tragedy that government did to its own people with the chemicals and the chemical attack that he did on his people, which I agree was absolutely horrible. And then I read an article too that Obama did the same thing, because everybody was like, oh my gosh, he did this without Congress's approval and so on and so forth, and everybody was wrapped up about it. And then apparently Obama did the same thing. So I think that, you know, we need to shed light on both things. So don't just sit there and say, oh, it's bad or it's okay because he did it. You know, okay,
it's been done before. It's not,
I appreciated that information and saying, you know, don't get all hysterical because it's been done before. And, you know, and I don't know, we can debate about whether it was a good thing or a bad thing. I just feel like as long as we're not going to go to war with them, but
we don't know
whatever.
That yet.
But my point is that we have to continue to talk about it because I don't want things to become normalized.
Yeah.
We just have to keep that in the forefront of our minds.
I agree.
So I think that's why we're going to continue to talk about politics, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, exactly. But we're going to take a little commercial break. Yes. Our second commercial and sponsor for today is LA on Cloud 9, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to the homeless community and their animals. They collaborate with multiple organizations to help connect people with housing, mental health, emotional support, animal certificates, along with providing them with basic essentials such as hygiene, items, food, and clothing. They conduct a youth program to help young minds understand the meaning and importance of service to community, as well as teaching them on how to deliver compassion and hope to those in their time of suffering and despair. They rely entirely on donations to serve the homeless population through the entire Los Angeles area. For more information, and if you want to donate, please visit www.laoncloud9.org. www.laoncloud9.org.
Yes.
There you go.
Fantastic.
Okay, so let's talk about. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me. I'm like so hoarse today.
Coachella.
Yes, I have never been.
Neither have I.
My kids asked about it this weekend, and I talked about this last year or 2 years ago. I wouldn't mind going. I mean, I would like to go. I feel
you better
like
go
I'm
as a
too
VIP. You don't want to go in the masses.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be sitting out there in the desert, in the hot desert, or anything like that. With everybody sweating. So if there is a VIP option,
there is a VIP option.
That would be probably good, and that's what I would want to do.
For sure. Well, the big news was the performance of Beyonce. It was a 2-hour performance.
Yes,
she was the first African-American woman to headline Coachella, so she made history.
Congratulations to her.
And her whole show
was amazing.
A tribute to the Hispanic historical black colleges and universities. And so it was a lot of drumline and all that good stuff. And then she had, of course, Destiny's Child.
I didn't see that part.
Oh, yeah, they were up there.
I didn't see that
Oh,
part.
yeah, Destiny's Child. I saw that on YouTube.
Oh. I only saw part of her performance.
Oh, okay. She had Destiny's Child. She had her husband. She had her sister. And then she did her thing. So it was really, I mean, the excerpts that I've seen of I like the Destiny's Child stuff.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool.
I think she did a phenomenal job. I guess I watched it, like the drum line and all of her dancing. And listen, like the stamina that woman has, I was trying to pay close attention. Because, you know, like when they're performing and you're dancing, they have like, you know, pre-recorded and stuff like, and I know she used some of that, but it sounded to me very authentic. Like she was singing the whole entire time. And listen, I love karaoke.
Yes,
we both love karaoke, and it's hard. Like anybody that has ever done karaoke, you like get how hard it is to have breath control. And listen, I get it. She's an
trained.
Artist. She's
trained.
This is what she does. And I do feel like, I think she was mindful of it. And I think she was able to do it because if you go back and look at her performance, there was a lot of pauses for her. Like she was doing some of the dances, but there was a lot of pauses. And I think she took her downtime
to catch her breath.
Yes.
And usually, listen, artists who do that, they usually will go, when they are doing like this, they're singing live, it's because they need a break.
Yeah.
And they want you to sing the lyric for them because they're trying to catch their breath so they can go back to singing, sounding normal.
Yeah.
You know, that's.
She didn't sound breathy. I didn't think she sounded breathy from what I had heard and was listening. I didn't feel like she did.
Well, congratulations to her.
Amazing job.
And so we just want to go back in time and share with you how Table for Five began.
Yes, because we get that question a lot, right?
We get that question all the time. So once upon a time, oh my gosh, 5 years ago, you said?
It has to be like 5, maybe even going on 6, I guess now. It was in the summertime.
Summertime.
It was like
this fool
August.
calls me.
Yes, go ahead. Tell them about
It
how I
says,
called
I've
you.
been having this idea and I can have these conversations and people always tell me you should have your own show because you have an opinion and da-da-da. And I was thinking maybe we should do something. And then I thought you would be a great person to do this show with. And I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Yes.
Right? It kind of went like that.
Yep, it kind of went like that. I was driving along on the freeway, and this was probably the end of summertime, and people, had been telling me this for a while. I would be in conversations and stuff, and people always are like, you have a lot to say, and I do. As you can tell, I'm a very opinionated person, and I generally don't hold back, like no matter where we are or what kind of conversation we're in, especially if I'm passionate about something. But I also like to be engaged with people who have a difference of opinion. I don't like to be around people that are like all in agreement with me all the time, because I feel like I have always called myself a student of life. I will continue to learn. And just because I feel passionate about somebody, I would love to talk to somebody else that's equally as passionate about the opposite.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you have this much passion and it's completely different than mine, but it's the same topic, then we both could learn something from each other, because I feel like maybe we're both missing something. So I want to be able to be open-minded enough to have a conversation with someone that is equally as passionate about a particular subject as I am, and learn from them, grow from them, and hopefully vice versa. So I tended to have these conversations, maybe sought them out at times. Not to be a combative person, or if I don't agree with something in conversation, I'm not the one that's going to be like, oh my God, that's so, I try to be as respectful as possible, but challenge people. So fast forward, I'm thinking about all that, and then I hear this ad for YouTube on the radio saying that they're coming to Los Angeles and they're going to have a studio, and you could have your show on YouTube. And YouTube is obviously very popular even back 5 years ago, and my kids are all on YouTube, and this, that, and the other. And I was like, that would be really cool to be able to have a show on YouTube. But I didn't know anything about it. Like, this is not my background at all. I was like, it would be so fun. And we had been talking about it like recently in that summer about how there's very little representation on television for women and people of color and just different ethnicities. And like a long time ago, I loved watching The View because I felt like in its initial inception, it was
the
like
idea
that.
of it.
Yes. It had a lot of diversity and different opinions.
I think in all fairness, it's kept it. It's kept it.
I think.
And
I
a
think
lot
it's
of
gone
and there's
up and down.
and now there's a lot of shows that are at The Talk, The Real, The View. I think those are the top 3 lady table shows. Yes. So we decide we're going to do the show. She starts doing her research on YouTube about the YouTube studio. Yes. And I know I have a news and producer background, news especially background. So I kind of knew how this worked a little bit and how to put a show together. I produced a couple of them in New York, and then I did some independent work here. And so we decided to invite 3 other guests so that we would be called, we invited the girls. We kind of all clicked. Yeah. And then one of them came up with the name, and it was called Table for 5 because it was 5 of us. Yeah. And so the YouTube thing didn't work out.
Yeah. Because it was not that it was a lot of work. It was very expensive.
Yes.
So let's say that. When you get into videotaping yourself, like, listen, when you see people that are on YouTube or YouTubers that are very successful, there's a reason why it's one person, it's one camera, and they, can edit. It's very simple. They can edit themselves, or if they don't do or do not edit. But I didn't like that. Like, I like the idea of a homegrown, very casual, but I didn't know how to make that happen. Right. And that was very expensive.
So for about 2 or 3 months, we met in my home, like once a week.
Yes.
And just kind of brainstormed on how to put this together.
Yep. What we wanted. And
how it was going to look. And we did have 2 people that were helping us at the time. And we decided to tape the top. We did topics. Yeah. And we decided to do a YouTube channel, upload the topics to our YouTube channel, which is still on there, Table for 5. You can go on there and see the original shows.
The original.
And I think each one, I think they were like 15 minutes to 20 minutes, the topics.
Yeah, more like maybe 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we filmed them, we taped them all in one day, which was crazy. We changed our outfits all in one day. Yeah. And
It was like a 14-hour day.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
And I so diligently had a book for all our hosts, and I discovered nobody read. Well, no, I think one.
I did.
Heidi read it.
I did too.
Did you read the book?
Yes,
and
I
you
did.
opened it.
I did. I read everything.
Okay. And so we had really great topics. We had great guests. We did a sizzle reel, and then the sizzle reel was with one set of people that was helping us, and then we had another set of people helping us do the actual taping of the show that happened at your house.
Our sizzle reel was amazing.
Yeah,
you guys should go.
You should go check it out. It's on our.
Yeah. That was probably my first favorite thing that we did.
It was very natural.
It.
It was fun.
Yeah.
We had a great team from Miami.
Yes.
Come and tape it. Cabana Pictures. Shout out to them. They were wonderful. They were a lot of fun.
Sis and Jennifer.
Yes. And then we did the shows. We did how many shows?
I want to say we did 12.
Probably 12, yeah.
Yeah.
12 changes. Wow.
Yeah.
And we had hair and makeup. It was like a team of people.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work. And I remember I had just had surgery under my arm.
Yes.
I remember this so clearly. And they took out a lump. And I couldn't button most of my tops.
Yes.
So I'm like, I couldn't even raise my arms. I'm very expressive. And half the time you see me with this arm was just like still, because I still had the glue and the stitches. It was like a couple of days before, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
But we did the show.
Yes.
We had a show. Actually, you know which was my favorite show? And this is going to seem really odd.
Which one?
Was the Pitbull show.
Oh, yes, because we had pit bulls as guests.
We had a pit bull as a guest that sat in a chair, and I'm terrified of them. Yes. And I was sitting there the whole time. Yes. This dog was as calm as can be. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that was eye-opening for you, right? Because you were like, wow, look
there
at
was
this
two
dog.
of them roaming the house.
Sit here.
And what was it? Cinnamon, and what was it? I forget the name of the dog.
Daisy, was it Daisy?
No, that's Heidi's dog. But it was just so, like, she was able to just reveal and expose how these dogs are not the attack dogs people make them out to be.
Yes.
Because people do that to them.
Yes.
So that was a really fun show. And the show on fitness, when Marguerite took her top off.
Oh, yes.
That was like out of control.
Everybody loved that show.
Yeah, that show.
She took off her top.
Yeah, she took off her top.
She didn't get naked.
No.
But she had her bra
But she took
on.
off.
Yeah.
So then,
and that spoke to her personality.
Yeah.
I miss her.
Yes. We had a great
you
chemistry. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And so we aired the shows once a week.
Every other week.
Every other week.
Yeah. So we took the whole taping and then we edited it, paid someone to edit it down. And then we released them every other week because this one was gone. She relocated to Miami
for several months.
Yes. And so that's why we decided to do it like that, because she wasn't going to be here. And we also kind of figured that trying to meet every week to tape it live, and then, depending on what was going on in that week or whatever, and then take another week to edit it. It was a lot of money. And even though we were splitting it between 5 people, we found that it was very expensive.
It was very expensive.
That was the whole goal, was to be like, okay, well, let's get on YouTube because we can use their studios for free, and I think all of their resources and stuff like that. But then the catch is that you had to have like so many subscribers and a very big, at the time that we felt like, oh wow, an unattainable type of goal. And I know that, not to throw YouTube under the bus, but I know they've had like some issues this past like 2 weeks with their, some of their people, and they're changing their policies and procedures and stuff too. But it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. Is basically what I'm trying to get across. But then when everybody else was kind of like, okay, well, it's not really going anywhere, and
it was costing more money than what we were going to make.
Right.
And so, everybody started doing their own thing, and I was away. I came back. We tried to do it with 3. Didn't kind of click. Didn't gel. And then all hell broke loose. And we're here.
Yeah. And then we just couldn't let it go. Like, it's kind of like we just can't. We just like so many other things in our life just can't let it go.
Can't let it go. Well, Felicia didn't want to let it go.
Yeah,
I think I was ready to go. Okay, that was a wonderful experience. I had so much fun. But Felicia was like, I don't think it's dead. I don't think there's. I think there's life to the show. And how we got on LA Talk Radio was my son. I think we've shared this before. Was being interviewed in this very room on another show, and he told me about this studio. And he said, "Mom, it's such a great place. They have like radio podcasts, and they have a studio where you could sit and do a video. You guys should check it out." And I think you came first, right? Or did I come?
I think we came together.
We came together.
Yeah.
And we fell in love with the space. And we
Shout out to Sam
and Ronan, and just it's a lovely space. It's beautiful. It's comfortable for our guests to arrive and be interviewed. And we started as a podcast.
Yeah.
And which was funny because when you do a podcast, you don't have to do hair, makeup, or get dressed.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, some people.
but we did.
Yeah.
You know, but when I look back at the pictures, I'm like, gosh, did we even think about what we were going to? The people we were taking pictures after with our guests, and so, but we really initially wanted to do video, and they weren't offering video during the day.
Yeah.
And then so we decided
That worked with our schedule,
right?
Yeah.
And so we decided, because it was only the evenings, so we decided to do the podcast, and it turned out. We got such a great response and reaction from everybody.
Yes.
We were like, okay, I think we got something here.
Yes.
And then Sam let us know that the video channel would be open during the day and available for us. And that's when we did the switcheroo.
Yep. And now we're back to where you can see us.
And you can see us, and you can see all the crazy and the mistakes and the laughter and the sweating and the hot, the heat and the
fanning.
The fanning. And so you get to see the behind the scenes, but it's not the behind the scenes. And
real.
I've been very flattered with the response from folks who've watched it after the fact and sent texts. They love our chemistry.
The support has been amazing.
The support has been great.
Yeah.
The followers on Instagram, on Twitter, even our website, we're shocked with the amount of people who clicked on to check us out.
Yeah.
And the people who contact us.
Yeah.
Like people contact us and want to be interviewed by us.
Yeah.
Like what? You want to sit and be like, you want us to ask you questions? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
And so it's been really great. We do it once a week, which is, we thought about doing it on a daily, but I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah. That's a lot. We might need Narrator to move.
I know. We might need Narrator here, like living.
Yes. She might need to be down the street.
Yeah. And so it is. Once a week works for our schedule really nicely. Yeah. I wouldn't mind doing it twice a week. Yeah. You know, we might think about that. We haven't talked about it, but I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Listen, sure. I'm open to anything.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like it's been such an amazing platform.
Yes.
And like you were saying, the response that people have given to us. And I do really feel like, you know, because our ultimate goal, well, at least my ultimate goal for the show was in the beginning to get my voice out there and to have people, you know, starting conversations that maybe you normally wouldn't have, because I was having so many conversations with people that I'm like, why aren't you talking about this? How come more people aren't talking about this? And even now still we find that we're like, why aren't people talking about this particular topic? And it's so important. And then we've just had this platform where it's just grown, and, you know, more opportunities, and people want to come, you know, and do different things and talk about their things. And it's just opened up opened up a whole new world, I think, for us to help people in different ways. And for me, like at the end of the day, I think I'm a nurturer. I love to help people. I think that's where, I don't know, where my gift that God gave me. And so I'm hoping that this platform can be used for that.
Yeah.
Give you
and
something new and something different.
We always sit down and think of, okay, what's our purpose? What's our mission in having the show? Because there's a lot of shows out there. Yeah. And we said, you know, a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, we're conversation starters. And a lot of the topics we talk about are international. Some of them are national. Some of them are local news. But we have to start the conversation somewhere and bring, I've learned a lot being on the show. I've learned things that I was totally unaware of. Last week, Dr. Sims told us about stuff that I was like, wait, what?
Great show. Can't wait to have him back.
Yeah. So, I mean, I always love having a show where I learn something.
Yes.
And I think the show's coming up, we will be learning something. And I think it's just great. I want to give a shout out to Janice Freeman, who was on our show a couple of weeks ago. She was on a show a year ago to the date that she came on our show. And a year ago to the date, she was really trying to figure it out. And a year later, on The Voice, now she's traveling with I mean, she's doing so well. So I've seen good things come out of the show. We've met guests that have impacted us in ways that, you know, we were like, wow, we've become friends afterwards. Like, it's a really pleasant position for us to be in.
Yes.
And we're very careful on how we say it, what we say. We want to make sure we inform. That's how I always say: inform, educate, and entertain. Yep. We're not experts in any field, quite frankly. We have opinions that we share, and in the hopes that it might change your opinion or open your eyes to something that you would never have thought of.
Yeah. Or start or have a different point of view. Look at it from a different way, or at least try to look at it from another person's perspective.
Yeah.
You know, that whole walk in someone else's shoes type of thing. You know, if you can't go so far as to do that, just try to listen, because so often I feel like, especially now, this time in our country, people are having a really hard time listening to one another.
We're not talking with each other. We're talking at each other.
And we're so busy, that we don't, we have, all these different things going on in our lives. And we need to take time to slow down and have real conversations, not just text messages or Facebook posts or get into an argument with someone on Facebook. Like, that's not necessary either.
That's not having a conversation.
No, it's not. And I think we need to come back to that fundamental idea of what is a conversation and how do you have conversation, because it's kind of lost. It's almost kind of a
it's like the lost art of a thank you note.
I know.
It's like people don't write thank you notes anymore,
or handwritten notes of any kind.
Right.
And I think we're going to end up losing that if we don't continue these conversations around our dinner tables, at home with our kids, in the car, with our friends. I mean, I know we get together with our girlfriends and we talk about stuff, but I don't want it to be also always so superficial. Yeah. Like, it doesn't always have to be so surface. And I feel like a lot of relationships, sometimes if you have a lot of people in your life, you can have a lot of surface relationships. And so I feel like if I'm going to give you my opinion, that means because I care enough about you to let you in on what I'm feeling, or I think it might have some type of insight for you, not just because I am an opinionated person, which I am, but also because I want to help you.
Yeah.
So.
Well, so let's just lighten things up a little bit. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and you can ask me a couple of questions. What?
Like 3 minutes left.
Yeah, I know. That's good. So what does the viewer not know about you? What's the one thing that would surprise them?
I think the one thing that would surprise them would be I'm a lot more sensitive than maybe I come off to be.
Really?
You're sensitive? I am sensitive. Oh, you think people already know that about me?
No.
Oh, you don't think
you're sensitive?
I'm very sensitive. I'm a very sensitive person. Yes.
Really? What's your sign?
I'm a Virgo.
Yes, you are sensitive. I live with one.
Yes.
Honey.
Perfectionist.
Yes.
Like, if it can't be done my way, then you know what? Listen,
well, that
it's
is not being. That's just being stubborn.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so you're sensitive?
Yes.
What else?
I think that's probably the biggest misconception, because I think people look at me like, I've had people tell me, you look like you have it together. And I'm like, really? Because I don't know what the hell that looks like. Wow. Woo. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Not me. So I think
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is periwinkle, because it marries my two other favorite colors, which is blue, like cobalt blue. I have it on today. And purple, like lavendery purple.
That's pretty. Yes.
So periwinkle is like the best.
So she's sensitive, and her favorite color is periwinkle. What's your favorite flower?
Oh, that's a hard one. It's a toss-up between a tulip and a hibiscus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I love everything Hawaii. Yeah. I think I'm from an island. I'm supposed to be from an island, because anytime I go to an island, I feel very at peace. I need to be near the ocean.
Yeah, near the water. Yes.
I need to
oh
be
my
on
gosh.
an island.
Shout out to Tea by the Sea. No, Tea by the Sea.
Oh. Tea by the Sea, yes. The Getty
where you
Villa.
don't see the sea, but it's a beautiful.
We had an amazing day there on Thursday.
Yes, we
were
did.
there. They literally walked us out.
My
the
husband
Getty
said
Villas.
that they kicked us out. I said, no, we were escorted us.
They escorted us.
They escorted us. Did you see how the car literally was following? Like, they escorted us off the property.
Yes. Yeah. And then they were like, they waited at the.
Yes, they waited.
But we
for
weren't
us.
the only people. There were other people.
Like
in the
two
parking.
other people.
Yeah.
But they did tell us we needed to leave, and then they walked us to the parking structure, and then waited for us to get in the car. I had to drive her to her car. The car followed my car to her car and waited for her to get in her car and leave. That's how serious this was.
Yes.
We shut the place down.
They were like, bye-bye, go. Please get off of our property.
Okay, so I did go really quickly. I went to the Getty Center the next day with my husband. We had a beautiful day.
I drove right by there. I was thinking
my goodness.
You.
It's quite the... If you have a chance, go to the Getty Center. You might have to do it in 2 days, because you're right. You can't get it all done. It does close at 5 o'clock. It does close early.
It does.
Yeah. But we did get there at 10:30. We got there early enough. We had lunch. We walked. My husband, I'm not even going to say what he did. We almost got kicked out of the Getty.
Oh my
center. They have my picture now in both places. I'm like, not
I
even
have to
my
hear about that
not even my
afterwards.
sons behave this badly in a museum.
But yes, it was tea by the sea. There is no sea. You cannot see the sea.
Yeah, you cannot see the sea,
From
but it
the
is
tea.
across the street from the sea.
Yes. So now, questions
Okay,
back to you.
I'm an avid reader.
Yes, I guess they wouldn't know that about you. I know that about you.
Yeah, I'm an avid
Loves
reader.
books.
Loves books.
Like
My
how many
house
books
is
can
decorated
you
with
read
books.
at one time?
3 to 4. I'm doing 2 right now.
3 to 4 books, people. She's
Yeah.
reading at the
Actually,
same
I'm
time.
probably reading
I
3.
don't even have that mental capacity to
Yeah.
keep it all together. And then my life.
Yeah, avid reader.
Amazing.
Favorite color's red. Favorite flower is the hydrangea. I love the hydrangea. Yeah, that's kind of cute.
And your sign?
Oh, I'm a Gemini.
Yes. Yes, she is.
I have 2 sides. They're both
No,
fabulous.
It's not that bad.
Yes, it is. That's my husband. So that's our show today.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It
Do we
is.
have, are we out of time?
We are out of
it says,
time.
we have 40 minutes ago. We have 20 minutes. But
No.
no, that's impossible.
Yeah.
Is that on delay? Okay, so we have run out of time. So that's
We
our little
have.
background history. Happy anniversary to us.
Happy anniversary.
To 2,000 more shows.
Yes.
And to many more advertisers.
Yep.
And to many more guests.
Yep.
Tune in next week. We're going to have a great panel. We'll have a full table.
Yep.
And we hope you've been informed, educated, and entertained. Have a great Monday.
Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to Table for Five with Felicia and Annette, only on LA Talk Radio.